Hey everyone, Jake Nikolopoulos here with the latest episode of Road to the Universe. Q&A again today. We haven't done Q&A for a little while. Send your questions in, I'll answer them for you. I put up a post on my Facebook page. I've got some questions, so we're going to get straight into it. First question is from Scott Bennett. Scott says, "Hi Jake." Hi Scott. "I have wanted to ask you a question on one of your videos for quite a while now. I'm currently training for an amateur IFBB bodybuilding event in late October. What is the best advice you can give for someone competing in their first bodybuilding comp? Cheers, mate." Scott, for the first bodybuilding competition, I really wouldn't be putting too many expectations on yourself. That's probably the first thing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's the first couple of times are really about getting that experience and working out what's involved in a contest prep. You know, you got to go through the diet, you got to go through the training, you got to getting ready for the show, what you're going to do, depletion in the last week if you are, then you got to do your tanning, stage, contest day, backstage, pumping up, posing routine, practicing your posing routine. So there's so many things that, so many processes and things that you're going to go through. So I'd just kick back and just enjoy the ride and learn, get the experience from competing. It frustrates me when people say they don't want to compete until they're good enough to compete. You know, that's never going to happen. You're never going to be happy with how you look the first few times that you compete. Like I never did. I competed the first time, I think I was 18 or 19 years old, and you know, I wasn't happy with how I looked because we've got sometimes we put expectations, we set expectations too high. We look at magazines, we look at other bodybuilders that have been competing for a long time, and we think when we get up on stage that we have to, you know, kind of resemble that sort of physique, which it's not going to happen. You know, you have to start from somewhere. Everybody else did, so that's why no matter how you look, just get up on stage for the first few times, just compete, and just work out what it's all about, and then obviously you'll get better and better every year, so you'll just keep competing. So the best advice is just to do the show, man. Just have fun with it, enjoy it, go through all of the processes that's involved in a bodybuilding contest, and try to have a little bit of fun. Next question is from Ben Smith. "Have you ever had post-comp depression?" Oh, this is a deep message. "Have you ever had post-comp depression due to a blowout or simply the fact that it's all over? And if so, how did you deal with it?" Well, I've got a good example for you, Scott. But in the past, I haven't really had too much post-comp depression because I always won. When I was younger, I won a lot of my shows. I won my class, didn't win the overall in every show, but I won my class in pretty much every show that I entered. So I wasn't really too depressed after the comps. I was always pretty happy, obviously, because I had a good result. But in saying that, when I competed in 2013, I won my class at the Southern Hemisphere Championships. So that was a competition that I already had the overall title of. And then when I did the overall, I got beaten by Steve Orton, who was the New Zealand guy. So obviously that didn't feel too good. I didn't build myself up to lose that title. I wasn't expecting to lose the title. It wasn't what I prepared for. I didn't prepare to lose. So that hit pretty hard, and I still had another 4 weeks until I had to go over to the World Championships, which is in Italy. So the day after the show in Queensland, you know, I wanted to pull out of that. I wanted to pull out of that comp in Italy because it just sort of was, you know, I thought, what's the point? I thought I couldn't win the Queensland show, so what was the point of doing the Italy show? And that was really tough. Obviously, I went through a bit of an emotional roller coaster post that Queensland show. But you know, I had good people in my corner, and you know, mentally, I just needed a couple of days just to regroup and regather. But that's all it was. It took me a couple of days, and then I was straight back into it again. But was it easy? No, it wasn't easy at all. But these are the things with competitive, in any competitive sport. You know, it's not gonna be good all the time. Another example, I flew to Malta to compete in 2010, and I flew all the way to Malta, got on stage for the pre-judging, and I didn't even get a call out. So, you know, I felt like I flew all the way over to Europe, went to Malta, competed, didn't get a call out, put your clothes back on, it's all over, you know. But it's all part of the experience, you know. I ate enough ice cream and chocolate and shit in Malta to make up for how I was feeling. Don't you worry about that. I had to roll back to the hotel room after all the shit that I ate because I was so depressed on not even placing. So there you go. That's how I dealt with those. So ice cream, chocolate. We'll just start eating chocolate and eating all sorts of junk food to make yourself feel better. So, next question is from Jacob Courtney. He has 2 questions. Bloody greedy Jacob. It's 1 question per person. So you're asking 2 questions. Let's see what you got. 1. In a bodybuilding comp, what would you see as more sought after? Back width or thickness? So let's answer that one first. Both, Jacob. You know, you need to have width and thickness, but obviously thickness is impressive, but width is impressive when you're standing on stage. You need both. You know, you can't say that width is more impressive or thickness is more. Both, man. So that's an easy question to answer. Question 2. What is your next comp? My next comp is going to be the NABBA Universe, October 31st. So that'll be the first time I jump on stage as a pro with NABBA, to see how I'll fare as a pro. A bonus question. Jesus Christ, Jacob. Pushing it, buddy. Bonus question. What was your biggest challenge when bringing up lagging muscles? Example, your chest was a stubborn muscle to train because of your overactive front delt. That's his issue. Thanks, Jake. He's not saying that I have a stubborn chest because I don't have a stubborn chest. But you've used your chest. I can use my calves and my hamstrings. So the best way to train them is just, I've found, to get more in tune with them. Training them more frequently, training a lagging muscle group more frequently, to me, did not bring it up. If anything, it was more overtrained, it would be sore, I wouldn't be able to hit it hard enough. So I still think even if a muscle group is lagging, you still got to give it, you know, 2 to 3 days rest and then hit it again. But I wouldn't hit anything more really than any less than 3 days. Obviously, you know, things need their time to recover. You don't want to train a muscle group if it's still sore. So just thinking about it a lot more too. Like me, for my hamstrings, I thought about it a lot more, mixed up the rep ranges, and that was pretty much it. Let it recover and then do it all over again. Not everybody is genetically gifted with the way that every muscle, the fibers in every muscle group as well. You know, some people can train their calves just a little bit and their calves grow. Some people have to really smash them. I think it's very, very different from individuals. So yes, so that's your 3 questions, Jacob. Mark Jordan says, man, I suppose it could be a stupid question, but had to put training and eating on the back burner for about 4 weeks because of uni finals. I'm back eating now and training, but I can't get my metabolism in check. I'm never hungry and I find I'm shoving food down my neck. Any tips? I carb cycled last week, it helped a bit, but not much. Well, Mark, I think if you've just started eating again, your metabolism's hasn't started, and you started doing a little bit of carb cycling, I'd start doing some cardio if I was you. Not a hell of a lot, maybe just 20 minutes a day in the morning, 20 minutes on an empty stomach, go for a walk. Along with the diet that you're doing, that should definitely kickstart things for you and get you burning and get that metabolism back in check again. So try that, add some cardio, man. Let me know how it goes. Matthias Garrido, I hope I said that right. Matthias Garrido says, how do you deal with chronic injuries and keep lifting big? Most people say stop being a pussy and harden up. But is there anything other than rest that can be done to overcome this? Example, knee injury through kickboxing. No cartilage in my knee, arthritis, severe ligament damage, loss of muscle and limited strength. Still doing and done physio already. P.S. He's a big sports enthusiast and lifting weights has been the only sports exercise because of the controlled movement I've been able to do since surgery. Watching mates play footy, basketball, etc. and not being able to join in also affects me psychologically. Any tips on how to keep your mindset positive? Well, mate, well, it seems like you've already worked out how to stay positive. You know, lifting weights is obviously, it's not as load-bearing as, well, not that it's not as load-bearing, but it's more predictable on your, you know, of an exercise. It doesn't put stress on joints as much as it would if, you know, playing sports, contact, football, rugby, soccer, anything like that. When you're lifting weights, it's all controlled. You've got the weight in your hand, you know what you got to do, lift it from A to B. You haven't got someone running into the side of you or tackling you or something like that. So I think weights, if done properly with controlled reps, controlled tempo, is even better for the joints. But I have had, I haven't had injuries, like I've never torn anything or had something really bad happen, but you know, I've been smart enough to listen to my body and stop before it does get to that. An example for me would be my knee. I've had like patellar tendonitis for a while now. 2013's contest prep was my knee just absolutely killed. Done a squat, did leg extensions, did leg press, but the thing was I knew it needed a lot of time to heal. I was getting needling done, I was getting myotherapy done, but the only thing that would really heal that, because it's flared tendon, is to rest it, and I couldn't afford to rest it at that point in time. So I would say rest. If you can rest things, the more you can rest, the better. Obviously for me in that situation, I had a comp coming up, so I couldn't afford to rest. But straight after the comp, you know, I took time off and kept on getting the therapies and stuff, and then it was all good to go when I got back. So there's not really a whole lot more you can do. Like I've tried, like I've said, I've tried to train through it before, and no, it's harden the up what people say is just complete bullshit. You know, you're doing, if it feels bad, something's wrong. Your body's telling you that something's wrong. There's a big difference between training through muscle pain or training through, you know, proper pain. Like that's like something's wrong. You're going to injure yourself. So you have to listen to your body with that stuff, mate, and rest. Try to take the time. I know it's hard sometimes because obviously if there's competitions coming up or if you want to get in shape for something, but sometimes just going lighter isn't going to help either, because you're still using the tendon or using the joint, and it still stays inflamed. So that's how you deal with that. Christian Martinez says, how can I switch up the Y3T training? Does it have to be back and biceps, or can I do biceps and triceps as long as I follow the principle for that specific week? You can do whatever you want, Christian. You can change it up to suit your needs. You can do back and triceps, back and calves, back and chest if you wanted to. You can do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. Obviously, it's better to do a bigger muscle group with a smaller muscle group, just so it's not so taxing to do both muscle groups. But you can do anything you want. There's no problem with that. Kyle King says, difference between off-season calorie split and cutting calorie split with rough percentages. I got no idea what rough percentages are, man, Kyle. I don't work that out. All I work out is my carbohydrates. The protein stays the same pretty much all year round, but I'd go from eating 500-600 grams of carbs down to probably 250 to 300 when I'm dieting. That's pretty much the only thing that I change. I don't work out a whole lot more than that. Like I said, my protein consumption stays the same. So just the carbs that I change, then I add cardio, and that's pretty much it. There's no need to make it more complicated than that. Stephen Miller says, is there a best time to decide to get up on stage and compete, or is it just making the first step, all you need? So Steve, this goes pretty much goes back pretty much to the first question that Scott Bennett asked. Just get up on stage, man. There's not really a time or an age that you have to get up on stage. It's just getting the experience and getting up there. Like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. the expectations that we put on ourselves because of now having Facebook and all that, we see people posting photos of themselves all the time, and it sort of gives you this expectation. You think, well, if I get up on stage and if I look any less than that, you know, I'm not going to be happy. But you can't do that. You have to just be the best you can be, get up on stage and just compete and go through that whole process, because there's so much involved. It's a big day getting ready for a contest, the lead up to it, obviously all your training, all your diet, like I said, and then you've got to do all the tanning, posing, your posing routine, get up on stage, and then after the contest reflect back on what you did and then change things for the next time you compete. But you're never ever going to know or sort of nail it on the first time. It's a massive learning experience. So just get up on stage, have fun, enjoy it, and just keep competing, keep training, keep competing, get the confidence up, and that's pretty much it, man. So that's a wrap. We got through it. We got through it all the Q&A. So thank you to everybody that sent a question in to me. We'll probably do this a few episodes down the track if you guys like the Q&As. If not, well, I just won't do them again. So that's about it. What are we going to do? We're going to do a training video coming up next. So I'll pick out something to train for you guys. And that's really it. Don't forget to subscribe to the Massive Joe's YouTube channel. Stay up to date with everything that the guys are doing. And of course what I'm doing, watch all of my videos. You have to watch my videos. And that's it. I'll see you all next episode, guys. Bye.